those professional ones. Literally could have done with like a fast food headset where like as thin as possible.
Go. Good evening, everyone.
Oh, hello and welcome. This is Dragon Warrior Randomizer Week 5 of Winter League. And this matchup includes 4 racers who are very much looking for a win. A couple of them can get to second place, but really looking for a win to get themselves in the playoffs. I'm Aaron T2, and with me on commentary tonight is CyberDark. Hello.
Hello, hello. Welcome to Week 5 again. This is going to be a fun race. We've got Pav, we've got HoodyTwoShoes, we've got jkoper, and we've got Beta Slimer Strip FM. It's going to be an interesting one tonight, I hope.
Absolutely. And I think what we're going to see, because this week's flag set can be very difficult at the beginning and can be very difficult at the end. It can be very difficult in the mid game. There's just a lot of places that can really trip you up with the flag set. Maybe we can get, a free pass on all 3 of them, but more than likely we're going to see a bit of a struggle at some point.
Indeed, we will. And I'm not sure if you said it already, but all 4 players here looking for a playoff spot. Right now, they all have 12 points, I believe. So, Beta has 11. But yeah, with a win, they're definitely in the playoffs. Even with a second place, they have a pretty good chance to get in. And maybe even a third.
No, I think that with the win they're in. If it's second place, only Pav, Hoodie, and jkoper have that option. We've already basically eliminated all 14 points and below. So, but with 15, you'll get to be in a play-in, which I'm certain they would rather not do if they can avoid it, because it's going to be kind of extra dramatic and tense. Only 1 or 2 spots available with multiple people gunning for them. But, all the same, you take every chance you can get.
Yep, and tonight we have Chaos Flags. Everything is going to be super fun. We're going to be looking for our noodle right away to try to get some levels. And hopefully we'll start with some decent items, a fairy water or a torch, or hey, maybe even a sword.
It looks like we get a cursed belt and a fairy water. So fairy water is a nice. Cursed belt, you can sell that for some money somewhere if there's a nearby town. But we are on a normal size map. First one that we've had, outside of vanilla, where you kind of know where the locations are. So this could be a little bit of rough going. That fairy water might break them out of level 1 jail, and it looks like we need 6 experience to do that.
So we have everybody but Pav here immediately saving, which is a good idea because you can try that fairy water on a few different enemies. The Wraith not being one you want to use it on.
Yeah, Zone 0 DL2 breath enemy is not what you want to see. It looks like jkoper throws one out on a magician that he's not taking down, but it has hurt, and I think he's going to keep trying. Hoodie doing the same thing and gets through it, so it's only 10 experience. That's kind of bad, but he does get out of level 1 jail and gets a bunch of stats for it.
Yeah, that's 3 levels right there. We're immediately at level 4.
So hopefully that doesn't dissuade jkoper from doing that exact same thing again, because he just didn't quite get the roll. In fact, he might have got through that enemy with 1 or 2 more hits on it, because I think Hoodie rolled 15 to kill it. Maybe, I'm trying to remember for sure, but it didn't really have a lot of hit points. It was not the noodle, however.
The poltergeist could be only gives 6 experience, just enough for the level, and went down to a single fairy water.
Yeah, I think Beta will be more than happy with that, especially seeing hurt. And holy cow, HoodyTwoShoes taking out the Wraith and getting 300 plus experience and a ton of levels.
Very nice. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, it did say 6 experience to the next level when we started, right?
It did. So these levels have just been coming really, really fast. And I guess by 324, you get 9 levels. So we'll see if Hoodie is going to sit on the Wraith for a little bit, or if he might take some effort to push out. He's got a ton of hit points, and the stats are pretty good. Agility specifically is pretty good. And the fact he's got hurt more, he can take on a good portion of the game.
So I saw it on beta screen and I just confirmed it in jkoper's. 6 experience gets him to level 3.
And so I guess 1 and 3 must, or 2 and 3 must be the exact same experience requirements. I know it's possible to tie because the way it works is it just orders the numbers.
I just saw 63 health points on jkoper when he went to level 8.
Absolutely. And answering chat, that is Barry Sanders, I believe, from Tecmo Super Vault. He's been fond of using that one in particular. And yeah, Hoodie has, looks like level 10 might be a bit of a plateau, but that's a perfectly fine plateau post Hurtmore. And it does have a heal spell, so you're not, in any sort of like really precarious situation.
Excellent goes down to a Hurtmore just like normal, but only gives 45 experience and 61 gold.
Yeah, you're probably not writing that one any Christmas cards.
Star Wyvern, not much better.
Yeah, right now it looks like right at the start there is the best. We saw the Wolf Lord was pretty close to the beginning area too, which was 100 some experience, and then of course the Wraith. As long as it doesn't DL2 breath you, it had enough hit points that I think Hoodie got through it with 1 hurt spell. So that sucker is going to probably be our favorite for a while.
Yeah, in Chaos mode, you really want to find an enemy that gives you some decent experience. Preferably doesn't run away from you, but at least you can kill in either a single swing or a single Hurtmore.
We saw a Druid Lord go down, but it was, I think, 2 Hurtmores, and it was about 90 experience, so that's not really on your list either. And it looks like Hoodie is taking a, I call it the Slamoo, the Slamove. Just walk into a desert, or walk into a swamp until you die for the refill over and over.
A decent way to die. Not the fastest, but a decent way.
All right, now Beta's up to level 10. Pav, I think, will be at level 10 shortly. Oh, no, he is. So we have everyone kind of at our plateau level, and we'll see if they start push out or whatever. It looks like the east across that bridge and southwest were both duds, so the only path we can really go is north.
But why go north when there's a bunch of enemies you can kill here, especially that Wraith? Koper already at 11. And 128 HP already. And decent agility as well, 76 agility.
Yeah, I think Koper just saw the experience from the Wraith, and it's just, there's no reason for me to leave this. I can grind to basically endgame or almost endgame and then go, because you're probably not going to find 314 experience on an enemy again. If you do, it's not guaranteed to be that nice.
But the Wraith did have DL2 breath, if I'm not mistaken, so it's possible we can see that in a spike later on. Not likely, but possible.
I think if they're in zone 0, 1, and 2, they can't be on a spike. I think those groups are separate from each other. Now I see Hoodie picking up 11. Also, thank you very much, Rob Draven, for the subscription. On behalf of RPG Limit Break, we thank you.
Beta also getting to level 11 here. 5, 5, 1, and 1.
It looks like he is going the more western way after going north here. We'll see if there's anything that amounts. It looks like jkoper is more than happy to just stay here for a while, though. Hurtmore and Ghost. He's not healing. He could heal over DL2 breath range, but it does take a while to cast to heal that many times. So that might be on his mind.
Yeah, right now he's better off just casting Hurtmore and possibly getting a few kills in here and there.
So kind of a difference in strategy for exploration. We've seen Hoodie has been preserving his MP, really trying to swing down on things, which is a good idea to get some information. Getting a nice crit there for 6 experience from the Stone Man. It does take a while to cast heal to get all those things back, though, if you choose to do it. So, you don't really know if the hurt more or the preserving the resources is better at this point.
So Koper just picked up another 24 hit points there on level 12, and is hitting level 13 right now with 11 more power, 1 speed, 4 more hit points, 4 more magic, sleep, stop spell, and heal more.
Yes, that is definitely walking around stats. You feel pretty confident with that. We do see Hoodie has made it to Cantlin and has nothing interesting to buy so far.
Gonna check shop number 2. We've got a silver shield to pick up and maybe a chainmail.
Yeah, I'm not even sure I would waste time on the club, but the 9 gold chainmail was nice.
Honestly, with 49 attack power, yeah, the club is not worth using there. A bamboo pole, however.
Now Coper's up to level 14. Another good stat drop. Still, well, he does have heal more. He's missing outside and return, and those would be two very good spells to have. Return maybe a little bit less right now, but outside to do cave diving. If you can make it so that you don't have to dive anything before you get outside, that could work out pretty well for you.
Schmike pointing out that the Wraith is running away, so that's our big experience gain. Not so easy anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the play of sitting here, but if the seed doesn't prove to be terribly difficult, this could be bad. We did see Beta hit up a cave there. I didn't see what that was.
Nor did I. I think jkoper's strategy right now is just stay here until he dies and then gets the refill.
All right, so Beta found Swamp Cave. If he had some resources, he might consider the spike, but he is running on empty, as they say.
I did see a slime was breathing fire and has sleep, but it's only baby breath.
Yeah, I think we saw that on Beta side a little bit ago, and he got through it. And that more or less toasted his MP, and this might be the end for his walk because he is almost out of hit points. But he's going to get to this cave, so this is good knowledge, and it's mountain. That's really not what you want to see with 12 hit points and no magic.
But he'll go through it nonetheless as far as he can, because you might get something out of it.
Yeah, like Stone's Cave or Harp or Rainbow Drop, those would be fine. He did pick up an herb. He didn't use it right away, but we might see it after this to help. Yeah, there we go, to help push through the exploration. Meanwhile, Hoodie has found Garanham.
Don't have a key, so we can't go in the back, but certainly heal up anyway.
It looks like he didn't find anything particularly interesting there either. Beta took a swing on a Wraith Knight and got nothing, and then was not able to run away and died. So unfortunate for that. Now Hoodie found the other side of Swamp, so we were definitely on a one continent, unless he somehow went through there already. We didn't see it. Taking on this Drakey.
Level 15 for Koper, 1 power, 2 speed, no hit points, 19 magic, and there's our last 2 spells.
So there you go. Level 15, all of the spells, and no gear. That's chaos.
Yep, and 157 HP, so Death Necklace most likely will be used at some point.
Yeah, it's these sorts of seeds where if the Death Necklace winds up being in an unusual or hard to get to spot, it could twist the race just by virtue of who finds it. And as reported by chat, the Droll was the Swamp Spike. Gave 106 experience, which isn't terrible, but when you have a 314 experience enemy near the start, I think it's going to be hard to care too much about that guy.
The slime does the sleep and baby breath on Pav and manages to take him out.
Yeah, Pav has really just kept grinding as well. He's pushed out a little bit, but not too far. So maybe I don't know if he's seen more or less than jkoper at this point because Coper's had a pretty good exploration run right now. But everyone is still moving, not sitting still. And the only thing that's slightly annoying to them right now is that the maximum MP isn't quite on the level as everything else.
For sure, MP is definitely needed to survive until you at least get Erdrick's armor, really.
Right now, Hoodie has come upon after he went all the way through Swamp and is now inches away from Mountain Cave. See if he's able to get through it. I think we only saw the herb in the first chest. I can't remember if Beta got to the second.
I believe he got taken out by a werewolf trying to get down to the second floor. Ooh, 2 towns here for Coper.
All right, so one of them is Hawksness and the other is... Oh man, the Wraith Knight was worth 254 too. It's too bad Beta couldn't take that guy out. Gave quite a bit. It brings Coper to 16.
So we have Cole here. Coper's going to look for some gear. Doesn't have any yet. We'll probably pick up the chainmail and silver shield.
Yeah, that plus a cheap broadsword. It's a pretty good assignment. I don't know if we've seen flame sword anywhere yet, but that might be the best that we see anywhere. It looks like Beta's doing a very similar shopping outlet, except there's no broadsword here, unfortunately. We'll see if Coper gets a guard.
It's a gold man.
He gets a guard.
Not going to work.
Yeah, so you're hoping this... I don't know what you're hoping for if the Hurtmore fails, like what type of enemy this is, but... Oh, well, it's 194 experience is what it is, which again is great, and that's the armor.
Oh, wow. It's too bad that gold man wasn't grindable.
Yeah, that would, I don't know, a couple of swings. That probably beats hunting for a Wraith that can run away from you. I see Hoodie did get the top left chest. I believe I saw Dragon Scale, and that was kind of the highlight. So, but Coper here in Rim, the first to keys, the highest level has Erdrick's armor, really kind of rolling so far.
Right now, 103 MP and 166 HP. Picking up keys, I mean, 82 strength is almost where you want it to be. The agility is great. Already has the silver shield. This is going to be pretty amazing, actually. He could get through this fairly quick.
Yeah, meanwhile, Pav did find Brecconary. It also had a broadsword and chainmail. So we see like sort of different combinations of these things. Unfortunately, Hoodie did finish Mountain out, and it was just an herb. So Mountain is wholly optional, I do believe. Although, no, actually, I think maybe the token was in there? If that's the case, then that's particularly bad for Beta, who, if it was, I think it had to be the bottom right chest. So he was really close to it and wasn't able to get through it.
Shouldn't take him too long to go back. It was pretty close.
Well, just the way this map is looking, it seems like there's about 3 specific directions to go. And his tendency is probably going to be to not go back in that direction until the end. So, because I think that was really the only thing that was left over there. I can't imagine he's going to rush back. But no, Coper now finding another cave, and this one is Grave.
So JD Phoenix pointing out that Beta actually died to the guard, so he should know anyway that there is something important in that chest. Or maybe it was a potential guard if nothing else.
Yeah, that actually, never mind then. We will 100% know to go back, and that's actually pretty good. Although there's no rush. That would be the one thing. If he does kind of rush back there, it's not going to help out too much. Anyway, we see Top of Grave had a fighter's ring, and that was about the only interesting thing, I think.
Yep, you can see jkoper walked over all 3 chests first to see if there was a guard, and then picked them up afterwards. Because you never know. I mean, fighter's ring is definitely useful.
Yeah, and a loose key could be great for any of these other runners who don't have a key yet. But just by virtue of the exploration, I have a feeling they're going to find Rim before they get up here. I don't know. Actually, Pav was right there, so maybe Pav got it too.
Charlock is in kind of a dead-end area up north, and not much else around it.
Oh, excuse me, that is not the cave that I thought it was. So it looks like the Staff of Rain cave is in the northeast corner, which is kind of where jkoper is going and performs the Brexit.
Who needs Breckenary?
So Beta has found Tablet Cave. This might be everything, but have we seen Stone's Cave yet? I'm trying to think of what knowledge we still have left. He does get a key though. That's going to be huge for him because he just hadn't found the rim. So whenever he goes back, he can loot the treasury and not have to worry about keys again.
Indeed, indeed. Hoodie now actually going into Breckenary is going to check in the shop and see what's in there.
There's a lot of crossing paths from where we were initially, although I think Koper and Pav are kind of on the same angle right now, and it looks like Koper has exhausted his exploration because he came from that area and just didn't check up. So he's gonna hit the treasury up. He'll be our first treasury check, and then we'll see which direction he goes after that.
We have a magic key. Replacement is nice. We have an F, which is probably a fairy flute or a fairy water. We have a gold, and we have a wings.
It was the fairy water. So you're probably nothing in that treasury that you're going to miss.
The gold is nice to top up on keys over here anyway.
Yeah, I don't see anybody doing a gold grind with the general availability of stuff and the fact that you should be able to get to coal somewhat easily. I mean, I'm saying that nobody else has got there yet but Koper, so it's kind of hard to say that. But here we go. Stone's Cave. What do we got here, and what's left?
It's an herb. So, Deep Grave and
Hawksness and Cantlin.
Yeah. And we still need 2 of our story items.
I can't remember how many belts we've seen, but I know we started with one. I can't remember if we've seen another one.
I think we have. Chat saying the back of Garanham hasn't been checked yet either.
Oh, very good point. And then 2 belts. So we know at least one of these other things is alive because we know Cole had one of the items. But we're still missing the Death Necklace and the Fairy Flute. So, blindly, the odds aren't super high that we're going to get a plot item or the sword.
42 north, 47 west.
Yes, and Pav is looting Grave, has picked up his key. We see Beta and Cantlin picking up keys as well. Did he? I think he just walked to it. I don't think he warped back, which is kind of interesting routing. But I guess he was here already, so he knew. Yeah.
That hand axe is decent if you don't have a broadsword, which Beta does not.
Yeah, Koper's finding stuff. I don't think he saw Cantlin or Garanham before, did he? So I think he's finding stuff in kind of the ideal order right now.
Yeah, it's working out fairly well. You can see Beta does not have Redrick's armor, so he's getting hurt on those barrier tiles, but Koper had it beforehand.
I'd be curious to see if he decides to bail. I don't know. He's got keys. He can move. I think he's not going to, but it is a thought. I think if it were a little bit closer, he might do it just because he would wind up back in the area of Cantlin anyway.
So after a little dance with an NPC here, we're going to see our chest in the back of Garanham. We've got wings, we've got gold, and we've got a magic wyvern.
I believe this Magic Withering was no, he got through it in one shot. I was pretty sure it took Pav to Hurtmore's a little bit ago, but there we go. Stones of Sunlight. So another key item marked off.
Unfortunately, the harp is still missing, and okay, this is the jerk back here, not the harp cave.
We have actually seen the Harp Cave. It's in the far northeast. I think both Koper and Pav have seen it for sure, and maybe Hoodie now. And that Swamp Cave, I would not be surprised if Koper goes for the Princess. These coordinates are not super difficult, but they are annoying. And I don't know. He might be thinking about it. He's using Repel somewhat liberally right now, which he does have. He's pretty close to Ghost stats. But, you know, whenever you're using Repel in a Chaos Seed, you kind of wonder about it just a little bit. Like, is he missing on good things? Is he going to give up the experience gap, and is it worth it?
Yeah, it's really hard to tell. I mean, he's got the HP, he's got the MP. The strength is a little lacking, not by much, only by a few points. So really, he has a decent chance to go, but then you could come upon a Spike Tile, or a DL1 that, or even DL2 that has very, very high HP, maybe can hit very, very hard, and you could have to grind a lot more levels.
We do see Beta counting these coordinates, so it looks like he's going full tilt into that. He might find something interesting while he's heading in this direction as well.
Yeah, the game tends to do that. You start searching your coordinates and you find usually Caitlin, honestly.
So Koper gets warped over into a direction he hasn't been, but he might not go in the direction of Mountain Cave. That's still kind of up in the air because there's another path out from this area, then going straight to it.
Beta's into a spot that I've definitely seen Koper in before. Still has to go further west.
I'm staring and wondering how close he is. Again, the treasure guards, unless it's I don't know. It looks like it is not treasure guarded. So he got the flute, which is probably bad. So that's not going to feel great.
It's not treasure guarded. The flute doesn't have to be treasure guarded, right?
Right. The only interesting, I was joking. Only the interesting items get treasure guarded. So the death necklace and the flute do not.
Pav now picking up the coordinates and may soon do that walk. Hoodie was in the armor shop in Rimmaldar, but didn't seem to pick up anything, I don't think.
Okay, so we do have two continents. I, for whatever reason, thought Beta just walked over to south, but I must have missed that. Anyway, that does mean Koper gets his token. He must have went to the northwest corner first. He's going to finish this place out, and I imagine he's going to be going back. But this means we're missing Hawksness, which I don't think anyone's even seen yet, and Deep Grave, and the harp has to be in one of those locations.
Here's hoping for Hawksness under a deadly spike.
And just to absolutely clarify what I said there, I was joking about the useless item part. The reason why only 5 items can have treasure guards is because as of right now, the way the game is set up, it can have a maximum of 8 spike enemies. So McGrew picked the 5 that people would care the most about to put them on. I think to go beyond that, it would require some sort of ROM expansion, and that stuff always gets a little tricky.
Slimu, I believe there can be a town under a spike tile, because you can have a search spot under a town, so it's entirely possible. And I believe it was found out that, if I remember correctly anyway, if there is, you can technically exit the town without getting the spike, but you can't go in the town without hitting it.
Yeah, which would mean, unless it's like Garenham or Tantagel and you get it from the backside, get in, you can't actually enter the area. The only time I've seen this happen was a seed I was in where a wizard was treasure guarding a swamp cave.
Jkoper now looking at the fairy flute and decides to give it up.
Probably a wise decision. We've seen the golem already go down in one hit, so that fairy flute's not accomplishing a lot today. Which means Koper is on the lookout for Hawksness, and that's about it. I mean, eventually we'll have to go back to Deep Grave, unless he wants to wing, Charlock for the sword. And is this it?
It is. Also, RP Gamer, thank you very much for the raid. So we've got a Spectre. And we had a Spectre.
Yes, that one might be a super heavy attack. And there's the sword. So all Koper needs to do now is go back to Deep Grave, which has to have the harp, I believe.
It seems so. So now you can see with this sword, Koper only has 124 AP. We do have Death Necklace HP if we can find it. Hopefully it's in Charlock, and we can pick it up on the way. Or Deep Grave when we go down there as well.
And yeah, with this being a Chaos Seed, we don't really know what the Dragon Lord is going to have. We don't know what DL1 exactly is going to have. We don't know what where that's going to have. We don't know what sort of ridiculous enemies can be in Charlock with, maybe making a couple of this here and there. So we can't say he can go win now, and we can't really say that he can't. It's going to be something that he's either going to test or he's just going to grind well past.
Pav picks up a sword as well.
And Hoodie is going deep into Grave already. He does have the armor. He has not got to the stones yet, so he's not really in terrible shape, especially if he winds up in a scenario where he never has to look for the flute. That could work in his favor. And he is level 17, so a lot of what we've been seeing is Koper kind of pushing the boundaries here of what we haven't collectively seen. But Hoodie is right there.
And looks like Harp may be vanilla. Everyone's having to go right to the very bottom. I guess it has to be vanilla now, really. The Demon Knight ran away.
As a cowardly Demon Knight, maybe we'll see a grand total of 1 from each racer on this. But yeah, that was good timing to deep dive Grave. I'm somebody who usually poo-poos that idea, but that worked out pretty well. So Hoodie's seen that. All he needs is the stones, which are in Garenham, but I just don't think he's been back there yet. I think he was the first one to find it, if I remember right, but just hasn't quite got back. But once he does, he'll be in pretty good shape, and then it's just a matter of him finding Hawksness as well, which seems a little bit tucked out of the way. But first, he's going to go to the Rainbow Drop Cave, which I think Koper is following him to.
Staff of Rain? One of those things.
Oh, and there's an enemy to keep our eyes on. The Scorpion just did 52 damage to Hoodie, so not something you're going to want to see on a Spike or in Charlock, but you never know.
Beta a little bit behind in experience now, picks up level 16. And Koper and Hoodie getting the Staff of Rain pretty much at the same time.
Yeah, Koper had a little bit more direct, quicker route there, so good on him again. Koper is in more or less grind and go. He does have to turn in the Rainbow Drop, which I believe we knew was under Garenham. That's not too far, and then it's just up to him what he wants to do. If he wants to try to push this level, he has enough knowledge that he could just check the Charlock Treasury for the death necklace because I think he has seen everything else. So there's a 6 out of 7. It's down there, and he might try that to wing it. But I do know people tend to be a little bit skittish about using the death necklace in Chaos Seeds, and for good reason.
Yeah, no, I believe we have towns fairly close to home, so it shouldn't be too hard to heal. But the strength is a little low, and if you have a high HP Dragon Lord, you're certainly going to want something more than 124 AP. And even on level 17, there's only 128. The other thing is jkoper has not died in forever, so he doesn't know how much experience he needs to the next level.
Yeah, so it's just a matter of everyone finding what they're missing. Again, Hoodie just needs to go to Garanham and find Hawksness. Beta still needs Hawksness. He needs to deep dive Grave. He needs coal for the armor. Honestly, he just hasn't. The lack of coal has been a problem, and now he's going back to Mountain where he should get his token. And what's Pav missing? It seems like Pav is missing most or all of our key items.
Chat pointing out that Koper actually has Gwalen, so could use the GPS to know how much experience he needs.
And that's something with his experience I'm sure he's aware of that he can do, but actually thinking about that might be complicated. I don't know. I think if I'm in his position, shoot, it's tricky. I think I would want to know how far to go, but at some point we're going to hit a massive plateau because the levels have been way too fast up to this point.
For sure. I think Koper's headed in the right direction now for Charlock. And Pav is right there as well, actually, but doesn't have the items he needs.
Yeah, the thing about a Charlock dive that's interesting here is that I think if this is short Charlock, 100% everyone would do this at this level. The problem is that it isn't, and he's got to go a ways to get down there. So he might be thinking, I'm just going to wing it, and if I die, my grind zone is probably right outside of Tantagel, so, it basically warps me to the grind anyway.
Fairywater putting in work here. We have not seen a single enemy on the top floor.
Yeah, that is one thing about Chaos Charlocks is that the type of enemies you see here tend to be extraordinary in some fashion, but very imbalanced statistically. So you can wind up with an enemy with 255 AP with 5 hit points. Or you could wind up with a lot of enemies that have no strength whatsoever, and you're repelling them, whereas running away from them would be torture.
So far, we have the wizard running away, the knight running away, I believe, and the blue dragon, well, you're able to run away from it.
Yeah, and Koper is on full resources. He's going to push this, I think, to try to win. That's what this feels like, and it's a heck of a thing because this is such a fast seed so far. But if everything works out for him, it's going to work out in a huge way, and if it doesn't, he's going to gain a decent amount of knowledge that people at this level may have to look for anyway. So, swinging through the blue dragon is kind of funny because he's using Eomore when you're doing 12 damage to him.
Yeah, that's funny.
And now he's going to listen to Gwalen. 61 experience. He might swing on another one of those blue dragons, even though they're a little silly.
And we do have a spike tile to get through, and he might just try to take that as well. We know that I think there's like 4 strength on level 17.
4 strength, though, could absolutely make the difference in this. He's at that range where every point of strength is still very, very important. Beta is seeing that the Spectre is one heck of a hard hitter and managed to stop spell him and then gets through him pretty quickly anyway. But he'll pick up his sword. So I think he's the first one who gets a sword before the armor. Just has not been able to find Cole and Rim together. Meanwhile, Koper has made it to the basement, and he is definitely, he's going straight to that treasury, going to look for that death necklace. If that is down here, that's a huge deal. But his knight is defense broke and doesn't want to let him go. Oh, and yes, pointed out, Beta has seen Rimuldar, so he should be able to get both Rim and Cole here in just a moment. At least I think he has. I thought they were right next to each other.
Finds Breckenary, though, and decides to heal up. Okay, we've got gold. We've got a curse belt. Got more gold. We've got a specter.
Yeah, that is not a treasure card. That is just not an enemy you want to see down here. They were doing like 60 damage to Beta, I think. And no death necklace in the treasury, so he's going to have to walk it back or try this at 128 AP, which I think he's just going to do.
Yeah, seems like it. Death necklace, as far as we can tell now, is in the vanilla sword spot, a few floors up. Gonna check with Gwaylin, see how much more experience he needs. It's over 3,000, I believe.
So if this Dragon Lord had normal hit points, this would be a pretty solid win. But he's not quite there yet. And we've seen the Scorpion already. Yeah, 54 damage.
Takes it in 2 swings, so if he has a couple of herbs, it's no big deal.
All right, yeah, that guy was a major disappointment. But the Spectre, well, okay, if the Spectre has Stop Spell, then you're not too scared about it, even though it does hit pretty hard, too. And there he got to see the 52 damage. So, yeah, he's going to herb up. He's going to herb all the way through this. Again, he has 173 max hit points. And it's just going to come down to what DL1, DL2 do.
Beta has picked up his armor now and has been fully equipped. Okay, DL1, we are a fool. Let's see what happens. Doing 25 damage, he's doing 31, so certainly stronger than normal, but not too bad.
A bit more defense than normal, but the hit points, same or lower. So here we go. On to DL2. He is not worrying about using any spells, goes straight to attacking. And then he goes into the stop cell after I said that. So if the Dragon Lord has any spells, big advantage to jkoper, who I believe did 12 on that first hit.
Yep, so now it's all about the actual amount of hit points that the Dragon Lord has, because he can run you out of MP if he has a high amount.
And he has done 31 total damage. He is swinging 7 to 14 here. That brings him to 38 again. He's got copious doubles chances. That's 48. At 14, that is a max roll, bringing us up to 62. So we're about the halfway point on the MP.
Hoodie rescuing the princess. Pav just finished Mountain Cave. And Beta is Diving Grave.
And I believe that was 78 to 92 damage, if I remember right. I get bad about counting the damage.
I just swing until it dies.
I usually write it down, but there we go, 103. $114, swinging on 50, so 123, forcing a double. He's got about 5 attacks left, if I count this right.
Doesn't need him.
And GG to jkoper. Really did that super heavy grind at the beginning and then was just repelling the world, didn't look back. And once he found everything, which he did in a pretty good order, really just cruising to the end here. So he will be moving on to the playoffs, winning his last 3 races after finishing last in his first 2 to qualify. So congratulations and GG.
So Beta now has the 3 story items, has to go trade in the harp for the staff, and then get the rainbow drop. Hoodie has the rainbow drop, but is still grinding or maybe heading towards Charlock right now. I'm not sure. And Pav is still missing an item, I believe.
Right, and chat commenting about the situation. This puts Koper in. It technically eliminates Beta Strep, but he still has the chance to eliminate a couple other people. It's still a little bit up in the air. Just Hoodie is not quite able to get that sword, and I don't think he's going anywhere with 106 AP.
I know someone in an earlier race was saying the offline race saying, "Oh, well, this race doesn't matter because we're not in the playoffs." I said, "No, but you can still screw with buckles for some people and make some certain changes."
I always say that you join Winter League to have 5 fun weeks. Well, you might define fun differently, but 5 weeks of fun flags, and then if you make the playoffs, whoops.
No, the good flags are in playoffs, really.
So what are we missing right now? Beta's got everything. He just needs the drop, and he's probably going on 16. Pav's got 17. He's really close to the harp, and he's got all the gear as well. So we're really just waiting on Hoodie to find Hawksness, and he is just about to.
Oh, right, Hoodie doesn't have the sword yet.
And step, and there's Hawksness. And any second now, right? It's right over here, right?
There it is.
So we might have a heck of a race here at the end. It looks like Beta's got a little bit of a jump, but he doesn't have the experience in the same scenario. So the other two, if they go the way they are, they're going to have an extra heal more. We didn't see a lot of challenges on the way down, which it's also possible that, we don't want to say someone necessarily got lucky or not just based off of one walk. But it is possible that Charlock was a little bit nastier than it seemed. But it looks like Beta is going directly there.
Yep, has to go east and then turn back west and then go east again.
He thought about stopping and then realized he was on max resources, so...
It breaks up without even going in.
Good point by chat. Who is going to not even try for the death necklace? Because if you don't, it's going to be to your advantage.
And with that sound, I believe we have a jkoper here. GG.
Thank you. Yeah, bunch of stuff went wrong. Let me list it all. I don't know. I could have dove the grave or something, I guess. That would have saved a couple minutes, but... yeah. I don't think that was a mistake. So, yeah.
No, you actually right-ordered a lot of things other than maybe the grave.
Yeah, if I had seen the mountain cave first, then and Hawksness too, then I probably would have dove the grave. I almost certainly would have left the sword in the grave if that were the last thing I needed. But that would have been interesting. I don't think I could have won the game on that level with the broadsword, so I would have been in panic mode for sure. But other than that, I got very fortunate once I got hurt more to just run into Wraith after Wraith, and then yeah, I went back to the desert and it was like Wraith, and I was like, what is this zone? And it stopped after a little bit, but that was really nice.
Yeah, I don't think you've died since you did that grind at the beginning.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, that's one misleading stat if you look at the deaths on the screen, is it looks like you died about the same amount as everybody else, but you got them all out of the way at the beginning, quick refills and such. Were you planning on sticking, like, what were you waiting on the grind? Like, what were you looking for something, or were you just like, I'm just going to get all my grinding done now?
No, I wasn't looking for anything in particular. I'm just like, Really, it was like when I ran out of MP, that didn't feel like I was done. So I was like, I'm just gonna go through another full round of wasting my MP on these race, and then when I ran out, then I went and did my stuff. So that it just turned out that was like a really good amount. I mean, I could have gone earlier. I'm pretty sure this was winnable on 16, right? I finished on 17, right? Everyone's on 17. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Yeah, the extra 4 strength, I think it was, on 17. I don't think that was a deal breaker. Because I had so much MP left at the end. But of course, you never know that. It'd be chaos and whatnot. So yeah, there were so many unknowns going into Charlock. I think this might be the fewest enemies ever seen in a seed for me. I don't know about for anyone, but yeah, I basically just walked around the whole seed and saw like 5 enemies. I don't know. It was an experience for sure.
Well, yeah,
I noticed when you. Go ahead, Aaron.
I was just gonna say, yeah, the combination of doing that early grind and then just repelling worked really well. I know sometimes we're scared collectively using repel and chaos walking around the overworld, but that added up to a lot of what you said. 50 attacks, 32 hurt mores. That's like, that's not a whole lot of killing.
Yeah. I mean, you can add it up from the thing. Though the stats aren't cycling anymore. I didn't know that.
He might have paused it. Our restreamers do that a lot.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to let it keep rolling, you can. I left it on my end. So that's up to High Spirits, I guess.
Oh no, Pav just died to a Spectre on the last floor of Charlock.
Oh, that sucks.
Beta is currently on deal 2, and Hoodie looks like he's going for the Death Necklace, which I believe has to be in the Judge Stable.
I did not see the Tablet Cave, but I'm guessing someone did at some point.
I think it was a key.
Okay.
And Hoodie's making it to 18, but we were talking about the potential differences in Charlock, and Beta was the first one in. I think Hoodie caught up to him a little bit, but now really just fell off of pace as Beta skipped the Charlock Treasury check and seems to be just fine right now on the Dragon Lord. Was there anything in particular about the exploration that kind of stuck out to you? Because it felt like there were a lot of different ways to go once you got the right direction at the beginning.
Yeah. Not really. I kind of just went the way that seemed most obvious that I hadn't gone yet. So, was certainly fortunate to run straight into the armor at the start. Can't complain about that. Oh, is he going back for the Death Necklace? That's crazy. He doesn't know.
The 128 attack is... I guess it doesn't seem high. We're used to wanting more, but in this case, it's perfectly doable. Also, GG's to Beta.
Yeah. Second. I don't think any of us... I think most of us would agree that Beta's probably the best of us at this game. I mean, of this group in particular. So, I think he deserves to go to the playoffs.
Beta certainly has a really, really, really good ability to analyze this game.
Yeah, he just had 1 or 2 pretty bad races and wasn't able to get the wins he needed to compensate for it. But the big difference the big difference in this race, I think, was just that he didn't grind as long at the beginning, and like when he died in Mountain Cave on the token, that was particularly bad.
Oh yeah. I said something about Beta making the playoffs, and then I just realized that he's finishing at 14, and now I feel like an idiot because that's not going to get him in. So, yeah, he still deserved to be there regardless. But there's so many good players at this game, so only so many can make it.
Yeah, it's getting pretty hard not to find a good player when we play these tournaments. Everyone is, well, just about everyone is so good or able to play at such a high level that it really makes it hard to do anything. GG Beta.
I feel like I did nothing wrong in the race, and yet I lost by almost 10 minutes.
It sounds like the big difference was that I sat and just grinded on race until I was basically at goal level. I was 16, I think. And then I repelled for the rest of the seed. And I fought like 3 or 4 more enemies after that. So I may have gotten lucky with a run of race right at the start of the grind.
I grinded on wraiths for a while. I think until MP was around 50 or in the 50s or something like that, and had hurt more and had a heal spell. It felt good enough to me to start pushing. I think I full cleared the map. That never feels good on a map that's normal size. But I feel like the only thing I would have done differently in hindsight, which I have no control over in real time, is routing. Just finding things in the right order and not having to backtrack.
Yeah, after I left the grind, then I walked almost immediately to the armor. So that was pretty big. The only thing that really could have gone better for me is that I did not dive the grave the first time. So I found the grave, and then I found the staff trade-in, and then I found the rainbow drop, and had to go back to all those things in the end. But again, I was just repelling. It was just a matter of walking the map, and I didn't really have too many wrong turns or anything, so it all worked out pretty well for me.
Yeah, my last locations were Cole, Rimmildar, Grave, Charlock. So, yeah, I did not find armor for a really long time.
Yeah, there were plenty of keys otherwise, though, weren't there?
Yeah, I pulled a key from tablet. I don't remember when that happened. It was fairly early. Like I think I went south and east and saw nothing. Went north and east and saw nothing. And then I eventually went west and down and around and saw Cantlin, Swamp Cave, Garenham, Tablet, and that's when I got my key. Then I went through Swamp Cave as soon as I saw it, basically, and found Mountain Cave, but I was out of resources at that point, so I died on the Treasure Garden there, so I had to backtrack to go back there later on.
Yeah, Beta, I think you were the first to Mountain Cave, actually.
Yeah, I never came close to running out of resources. I think I always had like 50 MP or more, almost, for the entire race after the initial grind. Okay.
And we do say GG to HoodyTwoShoes, who has finished up his dive 56-25. Being 2 points, it will eliminate him from the tournament, but it was a very well-run race. In fact, looking at the times right now, it's kind of odd that I think Beta entered Charlock about 20 seconds before Hoodie, and Hoodie didn't die. He went back for the death necklace, and that was the gap that we had there at the end.
GG's Hoodie, and it's actually saying that Pav was in Charlock too. Pav, Hoodie, and Beta were all in Charlock at the same time, and Pav died. I believe Beta was ahead of everyone else, but Pav died, and then of course Hoodie went back.
Yeah, I think Pav's situation was that he didn't heal after a fight with one of the specters, and then another one immediately appeared, and he threw a hurt around and it failed, and it sent him home. But GG's Hoodie, and welcome into the booth.
Yeah, I figured it didn't. Like, it was already. I saw beta. Like, I wasn't gonna finish ahead of beta even if I didn't grab the death necklace. There was nothing that was gonna do that, and it doesn't matter if I finish in 3rd or 4th at that point. So whatever, just finish. Figured I would get the death necklace and win. But yeah, I don't know. GG to jkoper. That was very fast. I felt like I was doing okay, and then I saw Koper finish, and I was like, oh god, must have had a god run. So definite GGs to you, and GG beta.
GG's. Yeah, sometimes there are seeds like this, races like this, where somebody does the right thing early and also basically does a perfect route. And like, if you get armor relatively early, that helps so much with everything else, because it effectively neutralizes Hurt More Breath, it neutralizes the stop spell from the Spectre, it does so much for you. And he said he never ran out of resources, and I believe him. It's like, if you get armor and you have like over 50 MP, if you have decent attack power and you can swipe through things fairly quickly and put up repel, yeah, you're not going to run out of resources as long as there's not like a bunch of really overpowered enemies on the overworld. And I don't think I saw anything that was that strong in the seed other than the Spectre, strangely enough.
Yeah, I didn't think there was anything super scary out on the map. GG Pav, by the way.
Yes,
I think the slimes were one of the scariest things you could see.
I was thinking about trying to use the metagame knowledge that jkoper had finished, and probably figuring I didn't need the death necklace. It would have obviously been the right play, but I had so much HP, and it's just hard to know for sure what the situation is. So I grabbed it, but I'm not sure in a vacuum. Like, that might just be a losing play more often than a winning play.
I didn't have a key to grab that death necklace if it was in Charlock.
Well, it was in Charlock, but it wasn't behind a key. So
It was at the judge's table.
Yeah.
I made the long, dirty walk.
I did check the Charlock Treasury, and I was like, should I look? I also didn't find the tablet cave, so it was a 50-50 for me where the death necklace was at that point. So yeah. I was just like, I'm just gonna go for it, and deal 2 was easy, and so was deal 1. So yeah, I mean, there was very little difficulty in the seed at all. But I'll tell you guys what I told Beta. Like, basically, I got hurt more at the start, and then I sat there and like emptied 2 full rounds of refilling my MP. Got up to level 16 at the start before I did a dang thing, and then just walked immediately to the armor and explored. And the only real thing that went wrong for me was I didn't dive the grave right away. So I had to go back there and then go back to the staff cave and then go back to the drop. But other than that, everything was very smooth. So
Were wraiths susceptible to hurt more? I tried hurt mooring a wraith, I think twice, and it failed both times, so I just never tried again.
Oh, that's really sad. Yeah, it was working at least 75% of the time, if not more.
3 of 6, that feels real bad, because
Yeah.
I was assuming that they had a high. Oh, that's, yeah. I mean, I fought them later, but I would have done the same thing if I had landed the hurt more the first time I tried.
I think I missed half of my hurt mores on them, so like once I had the broadsword, I just started swinging at them to see if I could take them down, and it looked like they had low HP too. Like, I think they probably had like 20 or something like that.
Yeah, 22 is, they just had it up on the screen.
There was a Wraith Knight and Wraith zone right by the Rim Coal combo in the desert there, so I spent some time there just swinging. It was easy to kill them both with swings by that point, so I think I caught up on XP a little bit there, but probably would have been helpful to do it at the beginning. I just didn't think it was viable.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But that's always kind of annoying when that happens.
I think I grinded to 10 or 11 on those Wraith Knights. I kind of got out earlier than... I probably could have stayed there longer like you did, but I feel like exploration would have been pretty easy at that point as well.
Well, you know what they say. That's chaos, baby. So I got, but that's what the fun is all about, So that's what we're here for.
I didn't know that Spectre hit so hard. He was the spike in Hawksness, correct?
Yeah, it was. Oh, and the other thing I would have done differently is not walk the coordinates because it was the flute.
Yeah, that made me angry.
I saved the princess and I got the flute also.
Yeah, I said the princess. I like having the princess in Chaos anyway. I did check it in Charlock, saw that 17 was close, so I grabbed that quick, and then saw that 18 was very far away. And one of you got 18. We saw it was pretty crappy, so glad I didn't have to grind that and be frustrated.
Yeah, when I saw you finish, I just I think I was already level 17, and I like the power looked a little sketchy, and I just had no idea if you just got so much XP, or I kind of figured maybe you got the death necklace. I didn't really know, but then it was just that the Dragon Lord was super easy.
Yeah, last thing I found was Harp. Didn't find Tablet Cave.
Yeah, we had plenty of attack power and MP and HP for an average-ish Dragon Lord too. So it's just a matter of if it was going to be like max HP, then I think that could have been a problem. But I don't know how much HP did he have in the end.
Started healing for me at 115, I think. So.
Oh, he had heal? What the heck? I did cast a stop spell, but I never saw a heal come out.
133.
Yeah, that is pretty low.
I think I was remembering my week 2 race where I was getting hit for like 100 by DL1, and so I think that I just over anticipated what I needed to go. I didn't have everything I needed either. Like I didn't find Hawksness until the end, so.
Yeah, by my math at the end, I figured that as far as going for Death Necklace was concerned, with the ridiculous HP, and I had a Silver Shield, so really high defense too. I figured I was going to cover something like 190 damage or thereabouts without the Death Necklace if I was going to get doubles. So I had no intention of routing for that. I was just going to go for it.
Yeah, that's what kept you ahead in Charlock on the bottom floor. I think you were ahead anyway, but keeping you ahead was the fact that you didn't bother to stop. You just went straight on.
When I saw Beta finish, there was no chance that I would not have been having any chance to have beaten the fight if I had gone. It was a bad choice by my part, but I don't think that impacted the standings in any way.
I would think I was on either right behind Beta or in front of him when I got nuked by the Spectre.
I think you were behind, but you may have taken over Hoodie. Or you and Hoodie traded places at one point on the top part of the bottom floor.
Yeah, I think that was Hoodie's decision to go back, and Pav kind of high-fived near the stairs. I think the only real difference or real possibility for a change at the end would have been if Beta had decided to check the treasury and you didn't. But I mean, that would have been that only was worked out because it worked out. If the stats were different on the end enemies, that could have been the play.
Well, it's just chaos, and after Beta finish, there is no real incentive between third and fourth at that point, so it kind of you hate to have it change the way you impact the race, but when there's nothing to play for, you make different decisions.
I mean, technically for me, as soon as jkoper finished, I had nothing to play for. I could have just forfeited instantly, and you guys could have been playing for a play-in spot or maybe even a clean entry at 15. But
what fun would that have been?
Yeah, I mean, I'm wired competitively, and the seed was so ridiculously easy for a chaos seed. It was actually an enjoyable chaos seed, which is kind of uncommon, honestly. So I definitely wanted to get it done as fast as I could.
It's funny because I remember I missed the first hurt more on the Wraith, and I was thinking, well, don't just let that one hurt more seal the deal. Give it another shot. And it didn't work again, and that's really unfortunate. So the rest of you out there, you missed 2 hurt mores, maybe try again.
When you miss 15, then you know.
Yeah, it's all just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. So I'm sorry your spaghetti wasn't as sticky as mine.
Hey, no worries. It's the first winter. I joined the Radish tournament, which is still ongoing, but that's not like the most serious of tournaments. This is my first tournament experience, so I'm happy to have had a lot of fun. I enjoyed all of it. Enjoyed racing with everybody. So it's a bummer to miss out on the playoffs, but get to hang out and watch. So I'm very pleased with the experience that I had in Winter League, and looking forward to more DWR in the future.
I'm actually glad I'm missing the playoffs. The flags just get progressively worse and worse.
Yeah, probably a lot more fun to watch than to play in for sure.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I appreciate a challenge. So, yeah, we were talking before, and I said in particular that I was disappointed for Beta that you'd be missing, and then someone said that you'd be happy to miss the playoffs. So they were correct.
I've had enough psychological torture from Winter League for the past 2 years to last a lifetime, so I'm good. I'm good with missing out on one.
Well, I'm looking forward to next week. In the meantime, thank you so much to the commentaries, trackers, and High Spirits. Yeah, looking forward to the rest of the week and weeks to come.
Yeah, definitely thank you to all you guys that make this happen and broadcast it out to the people. This is all for chat, so you're the real MVPs.
What they said.
Oh, thank you. And yeah, GG to everyone. I feel like there were some interesting factors in this race, and not normally, do you grind to 16 before you start exploring? That was an interesting strategy off massively in this one. It was 100% the right thing to do, I think. So, but I definitely saw like the other strategies you guys were playing, and a little. It's so hard in chaos to know how to approach the seeds. What's going to actually work until you see if it works or not. So let's see. I think we are aiming to raid over to the Earthbound Super Series channel, where they're doing Earthbound PK Scramble Randomizer. So if that's interesting to you, stick around while we head over there. And we are going to have a race at 11 o'clock tonight, so on DW Randomizer. So Cyberdark, do you want to take us out?
Sure, for all our racers, for our restreamer High Spirits, our trackers Destiny of a Dragon Warrior and RG365, and my co-commentator Aaron2U2. I'm Cyberdark86. We'll see you later tonight.